Just gonna reconnect. Just 1 second, Indy. I'll be like 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah. Get an echo.
Okay, guys, we are live. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. It has been a long time. I seem to say that every time, but it is definitely the case. But yeah, we are back with another podcast. It's been a while, and I am so ready for this one, though. It is showcase season, guys. That awesome time of year, the game of Christmas. And yeah, we've got an awesome lineup of guys joining us today to chat about that. The perfect kind of passionate guests we love to have on the show. And yeah, I cannot wait to dive into some chat about all the sort of upcoming showcases. As you can see displayed on your very screen there, we have many to look forward to, and we'll be diving into lots of live coverage of that as well in the live reaction sense every day this week. Up to Sunday. So yeah, keep yourselves locked to the channel, guys, and we will keep you updated with all the showcases we have to look forward to. But let's waste no time, guys, and dive into some introductions with these awesome guys I've got joining me today. So firstly, let's start with our guests, and firstly we've got a returning guest on the channel, a legend, someone who definitely brings so much passion to his content. It's an amazing channel, lots of Xbox focused content, but also, you know, across the platforms as well. And yeah, just someone I always admire in what he does and how he goes about himself, basically. So yeah, it's awesome to have Mav Fun Speculation back on the channel today. How are you doing, my friend?
Man, it's been a while, dude. What is that? What's up, Andy? I've been seeing some of your like Twitter posts on some of the events you've been going to and stuff like that.
Yes.
Looks like you've been having a good time going to some conventions
That's
and
right.
stuff. So
Yeah,
it's awesome kind of keeping up, seeing what you've been up to. But it's been a while since we've been on a show together. It's
it
like
has.
a while. So this is like
Yeah.
really actually exciting for me to be back here hanging out with you guys. It's a perfect time because you're right. Showcase season is upon us, dude. And
Indeed.
it's gamer Christmas. It's like the Super Bowl for gamers where we get just nonstop game announcements, game trailers, game reveals, release dates, all of the above. and extra coverage, deep dives, everything under the sun
Yep.
coming up in the next 4 or 5 days here. So
Literally.
yeah, I'm super pumped for it. We're gonna be doing all of our co-streams and stuff too.
Nice.
But yeah, it's gonna be a blast, man. I can't wait. But yeah, thanks for inviting me on, man.
Oh no, always, bro. You're always a go-to, especially like I say, for someone who brings a lot of positivity to content and stuff. Obviously, you keep it real as well, but you know, I just love the way. I just saw a tweet of yours actually, and it reminded me just how much I love about you, kind of, and it just said gaming is glorious, and that was just all you said in it, and I thought, yeah, that's my man there. He knows he loves some gaming. Let's get him back on. So that was the one that reminded me. So there you go. But yeah, thank you so much for being part of it again. It's always great to have you on, and yeah, it's been a definite while. I mean, to be honest, the channel has been focusing more on video content lately, and that might be why it feels extra long time, but I've also had a little break recently because I had a few things going on in real life, so it's great to be getting back to it today, guys. So thank you very much for being patient with us. If you're waiting on content to appear on the channel, I really appreciate you guys who have been sticking around. But yeah, thanks, Mav. It's awesome to have you on. Let's dive into our next guest. We have got another passionate folk on the channel here, another great returning guest. I think it's your second time on the channel, and someone who is au fait with the world of Castlevania and Metroidvanias, but also the wider gaming sphere as well. It is the legend, Mad Belmont, returning to the channel. How are you doing, bro?
I am doing good. This is actually my third time on the channel.
I'm so sorry. That's terrible.
So, yeah, it's good to be back, man. Like Mav was saying, this is Gamer Christmas.
Definitely.
All the showcases, all the trailers, all the reveals. We could see some surprises this week. I'm excited to see all of that, and I'm excited to see if any of these predictions I'm about to make are going to come true or not.
like it. Fantastic. Yeah, we're going to have some bold predictions for you today, guys. I'm sure these folks are going to have some amazing ones, but yeah, much to look forward to over the future days. But yeah, thank you very much for being part of it, Belmont. It's always a pleasure to have you on, my friend. Finally,
no problem, man.
I appreciate that, bro. And finally, we have got the legend himself back again. He's the obviously the panel member, true, tried and tested panel member that he is. Always brings awesome, intelligent takes and passion. It's my good friend Luke Still. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing very well. Yeah, so it's been a minute, hasn't it? So
definitely
looking forward to chatting about games, game predictions. As Mav said, it's a happy week for gaming. So it's always a good time.
It really is. Yeah, definite, bro. Fantastic. No, thank you again for being part of it, and always hanging out on this channel. I do really appreciate that. Love it, guys. We've got a great crew today. Unfortunately, Scott and Judzilla won't be able to be joining us today. I've got other things that have come up. Actually, Scott is not feeling too well, so hopefully he's going to be able to recover for our other shows that we've got coming up, and Juds has got work stuff going on. But yeah, you will definitely be seeing more of them guys on other streams on the coming days, like I say, just to give you a bit of a heads up on what's going on, guys. So today we're obviously doing a prediction show. Going to be talking about predictions as well as hopes and dreams, of course. One of those hopes and dreams might be evident on your screen right now in that visual. But yes, let's save that for later. Other than that, though, just to let you know, so tomorrow we'll be doing the Guerrilla Collective live reaction. Juds will be joining me for that one for sure. The day after that, we'll be doing Summer Game Fest, and also straight after that, it will be Day of the Devs we're going to go into, so it's going to be a long one and a late one, but yep, join us for that as well. And then we've got Saturday, Future Game Show, live reaction, and then Sunday, it's going to be a post-show reaction straight after the Xbox Showcase. To wind it all up, guys, basically. So yeah, it should be a good few days, and like I say, feel free to subscribe to the channel, keep yourself up to date, check out the scheduled streams, which I've done already on the channel as well, and then you'll know when it's all going live and everything. But yeah, thank you very much for being here today. I cannot wait for this one. Thank you so much to the chat. We've got Scott in the chat, actually, probably feeling poorly there, but he wants me to mention Katana Zero DLC. Like it. I don't know if you saw the update on that actually a little while back. I think I might have posted it in our little group, but there was a bit of gameplay footage from that, so it's still on the cards there, Scott, so don't you worry. I'm sure you know about that already, but shout out to you, my friend. Also, Super Retro Force, thank you for being here. We've got Rad Rad Bash Gaming in the house. I think that might be a friend of the Belmont.
Yep, both Super Retro Force and Rad
cool.
are
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, guys, for coming by, and thanks for bringing your entourage, Belmont. UK Dazarus, great to see you in, my friend. Thank you for being here. We've got Def Leopard, and we have Paul S. in the house, as always, being an amazing supporter. Thank you for being here. Vincent Vega, straight out of Pulp Fiction there, loving that. Sam, we've got Smokus as well, and I think that might be everyone in the chat, but if you are checking out the video or the stream or at any point, thank you very much for doing that. Feel free to hit that like button, guys, and share it out, and let's get some people in here and have a party and celebrate some games, basically. So yeah, let's maybe just have a quick little catch up before we dive into everything, and sort of like see, I'll tell you what, let's dive straight into some showcase talk, because we've got a lot to get through, but we're also going to keep it a little bit more generalized. First off, I think we'll go straight over to Mav and keep the order, and I just want to get a feel, my friend. How's your hype levels kind of thing for the whole week ahead? I know you're probably excited, but what's your kind of general vibes for sort of like any particular shows? I pretty much imagine it's Xbox on the top of your list, but let's get a vibe of how you're feeling so far, shall we?
Well, right now, like the Xbox show lately, the last several years have kind of carried the season for summer showcase season, right? So it's no different this year. Like Xbox showcase is going to be the star. It's going to be the one that's the most jam-packed, full of the biggest games, right? So be looking forward to that for sure. And but other than that, I'm also really looking forward to the Ubisoft Forward this year.
Okay, nice.
Generally, their shows have been a little bit lackluster in recent years, but this year has a chance to be something really good, because we're going to see Assassin's Creed Shadows, we're going to see Star Wars Outlaws probably again as well, and then there's a glimmer of hope, Indy, and this is my thing in the back of my head, and maybe you know where I'm going with this, but there's a glimmer of hope that this is finally the year where we see Splinter Cell come back.
The big one, that is, isn't it?
Yep, it is, and if you're one thing about Ubisoft too is they've kind of hit their stride with game releases and some quality titles. I mean, they also the Prince of Persia, Metroidvania games and stuff like that. They've been doing lots of really cool, different stuff, and it's time, I think, for them to finally reveal that. So we'll see if it shows up. It could show up at the Xbox show, could show up at the Ubisoft show. But yeah, that's the one I like in the back of my mind. That'll make the entire freaking summer showcase season for me. If it happens, if it doesn't, that's fine. We got so many other games and stuff that's going to be revealed.
Nice.
And I know the one that everybody's, like you said on the thumbnail, is like keeping their eyes on to see if it shows up for them. And this is the Indie Games podcast, so this, Silksong is going to be that one for a lot of people. But you know what's funny is like there's such a like disbelief that like this game cannot show up this summer for some reason,
right?
I don't know why, because I don't know if you saw this, Andy, but I put out this list on Twitter, is like a fake list of the Xbox showcase fake list or whatever. I've done it the last 2 years.
Oh, so this was your own thing, or is this
I just put out this stupid list. It's obviously fake, but it's meant to trick the people that don't read it,
nice.
to make them try and make another fake list.
Amazing.
Like they joke with it. It's like, but some of the games in there, like one game's like Big Mac with no pickles, and nobody actually like reads the list. They say like about, contraband and all that stuff, and there's like 3 pieces of their meal on there.
That's
but
great.
they don't look at it. There's even one that's fake list simulator.
Yeah.
Right. But for some reason, like they get down to like the 4th game on the list, and they're like, I've seen like maybe like 4 or 5 people be like, "Oh, this list is fake because Silksong's on it."
Right? Okay. Even the Big Mac.
It wasn't the Big Mac that did it for you. It's Silksong. So people are more in disbelief that Silksong will actually show up this summer at the Xbox show, even though it's in Game Pass day 1, right?
That's it. Yeah.
As opposed to something like no fries, extra coleslaw. or
Yeah.
extra fries, no coleslaw is one of the games. I don't understand what the negative sentiment is about the possibility of Silksong showing up, but I guess we'll see.
They're just very hurt people, I think. That's clearly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, people hype up the potential for Silksong to show up at different events over the years, and every time it doesn't show up, people get more and more hurt.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason for it, is because people have built up multiple times at Nintendo Indie Directs or at Xbox showcases, it's showing up, and it just hasn't showed up.
That's right. So many times now, obviously. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like some people go as far as say they believe it's not even being made anymore, which is just crazy speak. Do you know what I mean? It's like, of course it's being made. It's just they're taking their time over it. It's so like unbelievable that a developer.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Remember the game Below? You remember Below?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was revealed like right at the end of the 360 or early, right at the first year of the Xbox One generation or something.
Yes.
And then it went like 7 or 8 years. This is from Capybara Games, right?
Yeah.
And it just, people got so sick of anticipating it that they eventually just forgot about it. Then it released and just kind of went into the ether. Like nobody even cared by the time it released. But Silksong is going to be a different story. It's going to be huge when it comes out.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, very much true. Very much true. That's a great little opener there, my friend. Thank you very much for that. I love the list concoction. That's great. That's brilliant. Keeping them on their toes, just playing into their hand, isn't it? That like that. Brilliant stuff. I just want to quickly shout out a couple of more people who have just come through, just because I see Ruby Tells, I'm not sure which way that's pronounced, but I'm pretty sure you said on Twitter yesterday it was your birthday today and you're going to drop by. So happy birthday if I have got that correct, and thank you very much for coming by on it. That means a lot. So yeah, really great to see you. And also Byron Cutler has popped in as well, saying Stray 2 in the chat there, which is pretty cool. And also Beyond Good and Evil, maybe that has been a long time from that game as well, hasn't it? If that pops up out of the blue again, that would be quite a shocker. It's a good shout from the Ubisoft side of camp. That feels like that game is a little bit dead, but you never know, do you? I don't think you guys have heard anything about Beyond Good and Evil since like 10 years ago, whatever it was, have you?
Yeah, no, that one is definitely going through some issues.
That's lost at sea, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, no, awesome stuff, guys. Thanks all for being here. Let's move on to the Belmont then. Let's get a vibe of how you're feeling about the showcase week. Anything you're looking forward to in particular? Anything you're hoping to see out of it? Just a general sort of vibe for what you're feeling, my friend.
Well, of course, fitting with the theme of my channel, I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any sort of Metroidvanias that are going to be announced or whatever. Looking forward to seeing if they're now. I know that this is a huge stretch, but if Konami decides to come out and say, "Hey, here's some Castlevania stuff," even just another collection, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Just give me something, please.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I am looking forward to see if Silksong will actually show up. I'm thinking it will.
Nice.
You know,
okay, nice. I like that. Straight off that, we'll
it did get delayed. It got delayed, I think, sometime last year. So.
Yeah. There's a few. We'll dive into quite a bit deeper into the Silksong in a bit. I'll definitely be interested because we talk a bit about some of the reasonings behind why I think maybe it will and maybe it won't, that kind of side of things. But yeah, I'd like to get your vibe on that. That's great. We'll have a little deeper dive into that because it's going to be an interesting one. I like to hear what the chat thinks about Silksong as well. But yeah, carry on, my friend.
But yeah, so there's that stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any sort of horror games, indie, mainstream, whatever, because I have started to talk about that on my channel here recently, and because I love horror. So if any of these devs want to give me more horror stuff to obsess over, please. Thank you.
Very cool. I should check out Bloody Hell Hotel if you haven't checked that out already, by the way.
Oh, I have intentions to.
Oh, yeah. If you just get it on your radar, if it's not, you probably have it. It looks pretty damn cool. It's not out yet, but yeah, Bloody Hell Hotel, guys. Check that one out. It's pretty cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to is some horror stuff, Castlevania, Metroidvanias. Anything else is a bonus.
Nice. Sounds good to me, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure we'll be spoilt for some Metroidvania goodness, as always. It seems to be
Hopefully.
the massive genre these days that people are, it's just growing and growing, isn't it? Because largely probably thanks to games like Hollow Knight, which have set the bar, and then they've just gone with it. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, it's crazy seeing this genre blow up from what it used to be, because I was there right around the time that it started, becoming pretty prominent, and I've seen it grow from things like Dust and Legion Tale and Guacamelee and games like that. And I've seen it grow into just this massive subgenre in and of itself, with games like a Hollow Knight, Blasphemous, 1 and 2, all these different games. So it's crazy to see a genre that I like so much evolve.
It's great, yeah, definitely. I totally agree. We've got so many like Tales of Iron as well. I've started playing that recently, but it's just we're spoiled for choice of it now. So many great Metroidvanias. You could literally play just Metroidvanias all your life. I think I'd be very happy. But I could anyway.
Yeah, for real. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. Definitely. Fantastic stuff. Well, that's great to hear. So much to look forward to in that regard, in that sense. So yeah, fantastic, guys. And shout out to Stubbsy joining us in the chat, Stubbs Gaming, UK Dazarus. I don't know if I shouted you guys out. But yeah, let us know how you're feeling about showcase season, guys. It's that great time of year. It's the awesome week that it is. Anything you're looking forward to in the chat, we'd love to hear. And any games you're hoping to see re-emerge, anything like that, let us know. But yeah, thank you very much for hanging out, guys. As I say, it's been a while. We're blowing off the cobwebs, getting all the rust off the old bike and stuff, if you like. Hopefully I'm not doing too bad of a job. Usually I do ropey jobs, so we'll just roll with it anyway. But anyways, let's move on then, guys, to our next step of today. That is exactly what I didn't want to happen, so I knew that would happen. Sorry, I knew something would go wrong. Right, brilliant. Just as I said, I hope I'm not doing something wrong and I do something wrong. Anyways, right, let's roll. So let's get a feel then. Sorry, I've actually done something else wrong while I do that wrong. That is to find out my good friend Luke's vibes about what he's feeling for the shows ahead. I did not miss you, I promise, Luke. What was your thoughts on everything that we've got to look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, it's always an exciting time. There's some good showcases lined up. I don't know, like, if there's anything in particular. I mean, I think there are things in most showcases that I'm looking forward to seeing, but I like this time more than anything to see stuff that we haven't seen before, that we don't know about. That tends to be the really fun stuff.
Definitely.
So yeah, I'm hoping for some interesting announcements, gameplay reveals, and that sort of stuff. But I'm just happy to roll with it and see what comes out.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, absolutely. That's the best way, just to be open-minded, ready for it all, and soak it all up. Essentially, that sounds good to me. Fantastic, great stuff. So shout out to DeFloyd coming through as well. Great to see you, buddy. So yeah, maybe we should start off then. What can we do? We can do it sort of show by show. Maybe just talk about general things. Tell you what, let's dive into what everyone's probably came in off the back of if they aren't a regular viewer. And that is maybe to talk about Silksong just for a little bit, guys. I just want to talk about specifically what Jeff Keighley was saying. I don't know if you guys watched his, he does that little stream where he sort of answers questions, Q&A stuff.
The one where he tries to ruin everybody's hype.
Yeah, that's the one. He definitely did that this year, yeah. Where he's like 8 out of 10 and everyone's like, okay, lovely. Thanks for the people who got their game in it. They're like, cheers for that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Do you think he's just managing expectations? So hopefully it's a good reaction when it's live, or do you think that's a accurate thing of what he believes? It's not like it's sort of like it's counterintuitive to his usual behaviors. He usually likes to hype things up, doesn't he? What do you think about that?
It seems like he has a little bit of insecurity levels when it comes to his shows, because he does this all the time. Like he'll hype it up like months and months in advance, right? And then the days leading up to it, be like, guys, it's not going to be that great,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's not going to be too many huge announcements or anything like that. It's just going to be games you've already seen.
Yeah.
And he does this time and time, but he did that I think at the Game Awards as well, right?
Yes.
And then we got stuff like Blade getting announced.
Exactly.
You know, so when
Yeah.
it comes to Xbox things, I think he doesn't consider any Xbox thing big. So if you're an Xbox fan, you could have the biggest announcement in the world actually at the show, and he would still probably play it off a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But overall, I think generally it's going to be a decent show. The Summer Game Fest, the last couple years, is kind of like his B tier show. It's not the Game Awards. The Game Awards, he
Yes.
has some of the bigger things, right?
That's true.
So what I'm anticipating is kind of something in line with the last couple Summer Game Fest, which was a good show. It had some good games, had a couple reveals, had updates on some trailers and stuff, or new trailers for games we knew about and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of get the vibe it's going to be the same thing. But overall, if I was to count any of like the first party players to have anything at the show, I would probably bet on Xbox, just because they have so much to show at the showcase. And from what we've been hearing is they've been trying to trim it down, right? So if they've been trying to trim it down, that means that content had to go somewhere. Maybe they gave Keighley a piece or two, right? But third party wise, usually you see like some of the other publishers we don't hear about as much have big showings at Keighley shows also. So there could be like Nacon have like 4 or 5 games or something like that here. And I really look forward to seeing those shows, because this generally, for all those kind of games, this is when we get their biggest, newest trailers. And he's done I got to give Keighley credit, because his shows have done a really good job putting like a lot of the AA games that might as well be like thought of as AAA, like really graphically appealing, or like really games that are pushing boundaries in certain areas for these studios, putting them on the map, a little bit. So
definitely,
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a fun show regardless. And other than the Keighley show, there's so many other little shows too, and you never know what's going to show up at those things.
100%. Yeah, that's the beauty. I mean, we're talking about Jeff Keighley's show here. He's already announced a few things, and one of them for me is super exciting, and that's Neva, which is the new game from Nomada Studios, who made Grease. So that is very exciting for me, and they're going to have their first gameplay reveal. Sorry?
They made the musical Grease?
No, not that one. That's a bit of a twist. No, the game Grease, Gris. It's a like watercolor looking game, and it's like a side scroller. It's all based around sort of a lot of emotion, very powerful sort of storytelling in it. Check it out. It's beautiful game. Some of the most amazing art styles you'll ever see in a game. Truly makes you feel like gaming is art in that form, if you see what I mean. But yeah, they've got their new game Neva, Neva, and that is on the way. It's Devolver published, and they are going to be showing the first gameplay trailer at the Summer Game Fest. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the gameplay play out in that, because they're amazingly talented. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, that one, for sure. But yeah, like he's announced that already, so that's cool. They've announced it with him, kind of thing. But yeah, the thing about that, what do we call it? The sort of Q&A thing he does, Jeff. Lots of people were asking about Silksong. I don't know if you saw this, anyone, but he was saying, he was like laughing about, oh yeah, Silksong, love those guys, all this sort of thing he said. Just sort of like joking off, because he probably sees all of the people going hysteria-wise with regards to Silksong. But yeah, he was like, oh, that's going to be a while, that game. But it just sort of felt like he was brushing it off. He didn't deny it being at the show like he did with many other games, which I don't think necessarily means a whole lot, because I think he would be like, well, I won't say it's not going to be there, because I know there'll be 1 million people turn up wanting it and they'll watch my show. That's the problem, you see. But he did deny like a few other games like Wolf Among Us 2. He said, no, that's not going to be there. And then other games, he was like, no, that's not going to be there. But then when they asked about Silksong, he was like, he's just like, laughing about it, and then he didn't deny it. So I thought that was quite interesting. But I say, I think that's quite a lot probably to do with the fact that he wouldn't say it's not going to be there, because otherwise he'd lose about you know, a whole massive audience which he could have had watching his show.
Yeah, there's the indie community.
Exactly. You know, that's a massive, you know, that Silksong hysteria is massive. That's real. So, yeah. But in terms of that, it could still mean something. You never know. He's joking with it. It might mean nothing. I mean, do you guys think that has any sort of credence to that, meaning that Silksong is going to be there, or do you think that is potentially what I'm saying about, you know, Jeff wouldn't deny it to get the views kind of thing? Any thoughts on that?
Honestly, Jeff, he's a mystery at all times. He could say something, and then he do the exact opposite of what he just said.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's playing at here, because he's said that before, and then actually nothing happens. But like Mav was saying earlier, he said that, and then we got a Blade announcement at the Game Awards out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a big deal, that.
So it's hard to tell. It's honestly hard to tell with Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's playing that a little, you know, he's playing in the political game a lot of the time, though, if you see what I mean. But he's thinking of it from all the angles, because that's the thing with Jeff. He does play all the parts in a way. He likes to make the trailer, the hype trailer, and all this sort of thing. He likes to get involved in that. But he also is playing the sort of managing of the game as well of it all in that sense. But yeah, Luke, what do you reckon to that? Is there any sort of, you know, potential behind that, or what do you think? It's just him brushing it off and trying to keep the views?
It's difficult to know, I think, because on the one hand, there are other games like Silksong that have big followings that he outwardly, he was, completely denied. So like,
exactly, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 4 was another one where there were a lot of people talking about that, and he was like, I think it might be disappointing.
That's right.
So, and that's a really, really big game as well in terms of audience. So, I don't know. It's difficult to read into it. I mean, on the one hand, like I actually last year for the Game Awards, I remember following his tweets, and he actually hyped that up quite a bit in advance, even right up to the day. Which, I mean, Jeff usually does with his shows, but there were big announcements there, and obviously, as has been said, that Summer Game Fest is like, I guess, his second show. It's not quite as big as the Game Awards, but it's certainly bigger than like Opening Night Live, for example. So I think if he's downplaying the show, then people should probably have their expectations in check going into it. And that's not to say that there won't be lots of really great games there or anything like that. But it's more that I think when Jeff is talking about this, he's on about these really big hype announcements that, either come out of nowhere or that have long requested. So I think you probably won't get any of those. And I think he said as much, that it's more focusing on already announced games and just showing more of them. But there will be new announcements.
Yes.
Whether Silksong is part of that, I don't know based on what he said. But
it's so hard to call it in general.
Yeah.
Because there's the other thing though that makes me quite excited. Maybe it's misplaced, but so if you remember last year, I think it was like just before the showcase, Leth, who came on the channel, and the team Cherry representative basically for all their PR and stuff like that. But just ahead of that, he said there's not going to be any Silksong at all of the game showcases. And this year he hasn't come out and said that. I know it doesn't mean everything, but it's quite interesting. Do you think there's anything behind that?
I mean, it's possible, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be at Jeff's show. It could be at the Xbox show.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the Game Pass deal, so
exactly.
It's difficult to know of it. But I think, I don't know. Team Cherry are quite enigmatic with this stuff, and they just go silent for long periods of time. So,
100%.
It might be there, but there's just no way of telling. I think we'll just have to tune in, really.
That's it. Tune in and soak it all up, my friend. It sounds good to me. Yeah. I just quickly get back to you, actually, Matt, because I forgot to mention that. What do you think about that bit of nugget there? Do you think that's anything worth fun speculating over? If you know what I mean.
Repeat what they said again.
So no, so the PR representative of Team Cherry last year came out just before all of the game showcase season that we're on right now and said there's definitely not going to be any Silksong, guys. So, you know, it's been delayed. Unfortunately, no Silksong is going to be here at this year's showcases. Last year that was, and he hasn't said anything this year, basically. So that you know, you'd think he might have come out and said that again at that point. Do you think there's anything in that, or am I being a little bit too keen?
Well, I mean, like you would think. If you want to speculate on a little bit, well, if he would felt the pressure and necessity to say that last year, right?
Yes.
You would think the pressure and necessity would be even stronger this year because it's another year later that the game hasn't released yet, right? So I think the expectations are huge for that game from that community, and they're probably always asking, you know, are we going to see Silksong? We're going to see Silksong, right? So based on that, I would assume if they have a history of saying, hey, we're not going to be there, you know, why not say that again if that's the case? You know, it just would make sense, especially if it's the same PR people, the same community managers and all that kind of stuff, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So
sure is.
if it's that, then I would read into it. Plus, also, like, I would. The question is, like, does it show up at a like Keighley's show? Does it show up at an Xbox show? Because it is a Game Pass Day 1 title. Also, that was revealed. What, like, was it like 4 years ago? I think.
When the game was first
3 years
revealed.
ago.
Do you mean?
Yeah.
So it was
at the Xbox show.
Oh, it's longer. It's what do you mean when it was at the Xbox show last? Sorry.
Yeah.
That's two years ago. The Game Pass reveal was at 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's not that long ago, right?
No.
We had last year go by, nothing, right?
Yeah.
The game's been in development for a while, you know. So at this point, why not either show it at one of these shows again? I could have swore I remember seeing it at some other kind of showcase in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
besides the Xbox show.
Last one was the Xbox show, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm pretty sure that was. Is that right, Luke?
Was that the one where they said that was the same showcase where it was like these games are coming in the next 12 months?
That's right. You got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's off with that one with Silksong.
Just a little bit.
And it wasn't on that list though, Silksong, to be fair. In that sense.
It wasn't. No.
So we were trying to shoehorn it into the list, but
I remember that. It was definitely that show because I remember how surprising it was. Because I think didn't it open the show?
Or like it did a second trailer, I think. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was. Yeah, because it was very early on in that show, and I didn't expect it to be there.
Yeah.
So when I saw it there, I was like, "Whoa, what the? Wait a minute!"
That what Replaced was also at that show, wasn't
it? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
and that's one I'm hoping to see. I think that could be this year.
Within 12 months.
Good shout.
Yeah.
I'm going to be keeping my eyes for both of those showing up again, either at the Xbox show or the Keighley show or something. The thing about the Keighley show is he usually doesn't have, like I've noticed lately on his trailers and stuff like that, like the Game Pass thing afterwards, right? He kind of cuts off most of the like specific platform branding, right? It's just like about the games. This is kind of what he's done.
Yeah.
And so that's what in the back of my mind, do we see something like a game that has strong marketing deal with one of the first party platforms at the Keighley show if it's being utilized for their own show. So I don't know whether to anticipate it if we do see it at Keighley's or if we see it at the Xbox show, or maybe we see it at both.
I think we see it. If I was going to choose one of those, I'd say it would be the Xbox show personally, because of the history with the Game Pass reveal and the marketing deal they may have in place potentially. What seems, and I think I don't like I say. I think only you watched it. Oh no, Luke, you watched the Keighley interview, didn't you, recently?
Yeah.
He looked a bit like he was a bit gutted that he hasn't got it. Almost, he was like, "Oh, those guys, those old whippersnappers." You know what I mean? He was a bit like, "Oh, yeah, exactly." But he felt like he was like laughing through his teeth almost. You know what I mean? Like, Team Sherry, they didn't hook me up this year. So don't you? Like he would love to have had Silksong there, but I feel like that was the vibe anyway, and I feel like Xbox have got it. But you know, I'm getting a bit extreme maybe because people are going to really shoot me down. But Raylia is super hyped, so not that he likes a bit of hype. Old Raylia on his. If you don't know Raylia, he's a great Hollow Knight YouTube. We've had him on the channel, but he's very hyped for it. But he wants that reveal. He's thinking that it might happen this year, but you know, we all just want it. But again, it's always about take the time they need. But you know, it's no harm in having a bit of fun, is there, guys? So I just feel like there's a few things that, yeah, you know, it's a bit of fun in it. I think there's a few things that fall into place which suggest potential for this year. That's all I'm thinking. I wouldn't be thinking, you know, blindly. I think it's, you know, good chance actually this year because this timing's seeming about right. I just think I'm going to go out on a limb and say Xbox Showcase could be on. Sorry, go ahead, my friend.
Would you want to see more of it though if they don't give a release date?
Oh, that's a good one. Not necessarily, no. I think they've showed quite a lot of gameplay. It's all solid gameplay, the trailers they've shown, isn't it? I'm not necessarily needing more of it. I mean, I would probably just have bought it without even seeing anything about it. Title, so well, I definitely would have. You know that, but
no.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think? Are you asking me about if it needs to be a showing and then a year later it comes out? Is that what you were getting at with that?
Yeah, well, I think if they show it, would you rather them show it and have no release date, just see more now, or would you rather them wait and not show it now and show it closer to release with a release date? If that's the choice, I mean.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because personally, I'm not interested really in seeing it again unless they're going to put a date on it. Fair
enough, yeah. I know what you mean. Do you think would be a good tactical move to keep people in suspense, or do you think it's good to tide people over? Just I'm throwing a question back now off of yours. Sorry,
No, I think it's more just. I think it's. I don't mean it like this, but I think like they know the fever pitch for this game is really high anyway, and it's been a long time since they've shown it. It's been, as we just said, you know, it's 2 years. So if you come out 2 years later after showing it and you don't have a release date, even you know what I mean, like even if that's like, oh, it's next year, I don't really think that's good enough for the community at that point. I think it needs to be like, here's a new trailer, here's the date, even if that's, you know, August 15th 2025, right? I mean, it's just something. So yeah, because I mean, you mentioned the same. I don't really need to see any more gameplay of the game. Yeah, I know what it's going to play like. I'm really looking forward to it. We've already seen quite a significant chunk of gameplay. Yes. So I think at this point it's more about delivery, and I guess from their perspective they could be at the Game Awards, but they could be at Summer Game Fest, but it might be that it's just not ready enough yet, and they don't want to show it again until they've got a solid date in mind, you know, because they don't want to let people down. So it's hard to know, but personally I'm not really bothered about seeing it unless you're going to give me a release date.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You've got yourself into that settled state, which I was up to probably about a week ago, maybe, if you know what I mean. But now I've got a bit of hype because of all the things that are happening. But yeah, like in terms of that, I totally agree with you. And you know, like if it's ready, then obviously bring it on, kind of thing. But yeah, I do know what you mean. I don't necessarily need to see more and then like a year later sort of thing, and I don't think that will happen. That's the thing. I think it's either it's ready and they're going to release it very soon, maybe even shadow drop, I don't know, or it's going to be we won't see it this time around, and we'll see it when it's ready. I think they're only going to show it when it's like just on that final run up to release. Personally, so interesting. Any thoughts on that, Belmont, at all, or anyone else?
Yeah, I honestly agree with you. I think that they will show it when it's close to being ready. So if we do see it here during this whole showcase week, I think it'll be like August, September-ish when it comes out, you know. I think they're going to pull up Bethesda and just say, okay, here's the trailer, here's the date, here you go.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. And any final thoughts on that, Mav? You know, you'd love it for your Xbox show, wouldn't you, my friend? I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good. I don't think a lot of the just casual gamers or a lot of people only play the big games realize how big game that's going to be,
Yes,
right? And
exactly.
so for that community, it draws a lot of people to gain interest into Xbox because they're going to make sure they watch that trailer for those people that are the Silksong fans or the Hollow Knight fans, right? So
Yeah.
I think it would make sense. It does show up, but the question is if it shows up, do they need to have a release date, right? So,
and I think that's. You go ahead. You go.
So, but I would be more like thinking they may not just give an exact date, but like a window.
Yeah.
Like
I would be completely fine with that. I would.
Yeah.
I'd be completely fine with that.
Yeah, a window could be a possibility. I still
it seems
think
like it's harder and harder lately for these devs to be 100% on target with an exact date, like so far in advance. My guess would be like it'd be either like winter 2024 or spring 2025, something like that. They may say, and then if they do that, then that gives everybody like a target and then something else to look forward to. When we actually get a release date,
I totally agree. I mean, for some reason I don't think that will happen. In terms of this game only, really, every other game I probably would say that might. I don't know. It might apply, but
how many years has this been in development?
So
when did Silksong come out? Or when did Hollow Knight come
2019 they announced Silksong, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong.
So 5 years in.
Yeah, pretty sure that's right. I think it was February 2019. It was February something because it's on Valentine's Day they announced it. I can't remember which year. Go to Team Cherry's YouTube page. I'll double check that, but they actually just announced it for a video. So this is the thing, they might not even do a big showcase reveal. They might just go on their own YouTube channel and just plonk it on there, but I reckon for this time it will be different. I think they will follow up from the Xbox One from before and double down on that basically. That's what I reckon, but it'd be exciting to see. Let us know in the chat, guys, what you are thinking. Silksong showcase season, are we going to see it? Which showcase is it going to be at? Let us know in the chat. Break all of our hearts, or do whatever you want to do. Let us know. We'd love to hear, and we will read out your verdict. If I could remember how to do the survey, that would be even better. Actually, I'll do a survey. Yes. Any other thoughts about that at all, guys? Or
I got a question, just in general, right? And this is like a trend. It started like last gen stuff. What's with indie games getting announced so early? Because you saw it happen with Last Night, replaced Silksong, and all these things. Like, seems like these things are getting announced like 5, 6, 7 years, and generally in the past before that, hey, check out this game coming later this year or something,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, I think you're botting a little.
As far as like in development process.
Oh, sorry. You botted out a little bit there. Sorry, carry on. Sorry. Oh.
I'm sorry. I know this is crazy.
Hello, Mav. You still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me? The internet. Yeah, the internet just like dipped. I could tell because I was buffering on the YouTube also.
Oh, I see. Right. Cool. No worries. So you say again what you were saying there?
Just really early announcements for those kind of games, even way before like the AAAs, because AAAs get announced even 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, that's a really long wait. But some of these indie games, like 6 years, man. Pretty crazy.
I think that is probably maybe non-intentional. It's sort of just to get the name out there, put the Steam page up, and then get to work. And maybe they don't even know how long it's going to take with indie games a lot of the time. It's an undertaking that it's not an exact science, especially for a new developer and stuff like that. That's probably what I would say in terms of that. Is that what you mean? Sort of like it's very early and then it's a long run before the release date comes, sort of thing? Oh, we've lost him, I think.
Did you Hollow Knight, especially like I would have thought they would have known how long that game would take because they already made Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
It isn't like too different, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, we have an idea.
So I've just put a poll in the chat, guys. Feel free to answer that. But yeah, I know what you mean, because you feel like they've got the they're grounding there from the other game. Obviously, they have built on it quite a lot, but they've still got the foundations there, of course, from before. Although it has, like I say, there is quite a lot that's come into it, which has changed things up. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. I think they are just very passionate developers who, want to build and build on it and just, iterate and make it better and better. And sometimes it's hard to know. Like I say, it's not an exact science on this sort of thing. So that's all I would say in that. But I suppose AAAs are just as guilty though, aren't they? And they are guilty of probably being pushed by their publishers to set a release date to make their money back quickly. That's probably the difference. Yeah. And the indie developers have just put it out there and then got to work, and then however long it takes until it's done is how long it takes, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, but any other thoughts on that, guys? Luke, what do
What on the point about
on Mav's question? Yeah,
long dev times. Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's intentional. As you mentioned, I think it's just. I mean, you have ones like The Last Night, right? Which are. Something just happened in the development of that just sent it way back. Other times, it might be because they're looking to hire as well for those games, so they want to get them into the ether. Even if they're small studios, they might still be looking to hire.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think there's just a few unlucky ones, I suppose, like Silksong and then The Last Night and Replace to a lesser extent, where they have had a long trail before they've come out. But you can pick a lot of examples from the AAA space as well, so it's not unique to indie games necessarily. Yeah. But it's still annoying no matter when it happens, I think.
Yes, it certainly can be. That's the key. I think the key is all in the marketing of it all. It's not to set expectations wrong, and that's to set too near of a release date. That's the key, I think, and that's why Team Cherry should really be applauded in that way, because they're not saying, "Oh, it's coming out this year" or whatever. It's not coming out on this date. Oh no, we've pushed it back another year. I mean, in their minds, they've got maybe an idea, but they haven't announced the date or anything like that. So in that sense, they haven't misled us in any way.
Yeah, and I appreciate when devs do that, because that way they don't sit here and get all our expectations high up, and we don't start speculating about something, and then all of a sudden they delay it, and then it comes out, and it's not what we envisioned because all the hype that they had built up. So I appreciate the Team Cherry is staying as silent as they are and not really building or destroying expectations. They're just like, hey, we'll tell you about it when we're ready to, and that's it.
Definitely. Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's a better way. Fantastic stuff. And good stuff. Thanks for answering the chat poll, guys. I'm loving it. I'm going to leave it running for a bit longer. If you haven't answered, feel free to answer. And shout out to Ray Oid, who's come through. Thank you for being in the chat, my friend, and everyone else who's hanging out in there. There's loads of you guys in. It's great to see. We've got Gabrielle Viana in there as well. Defloyd, also Lady Foxfire coming through. Great to see you, my friend, and thank you for your kind words about us being back. We really love to be back. So thank you for coming by and supporting. It's always lovely to see you. Fantastic stuff, guys. So Silksong, we've dived into a bit of that. That's always nice. So I am quite excited to see how it all turns out with that. But there's been so many other games that have been announced and could come back. Luke mentioned one of those there, which has been around even longer than the Silksong, which is The Last Night even. That game is still in development, very much so. But that's been like 2017, I think that was announced. So there's sometimes things happen. That game had a bit of an issue mid-development with political thing or something. I can't even remember what it was, to be honest with you, but it was a bit of a shenanigan, and then they've got back on track, I think. So I would love to see that game come back, because that was one of the most incredible trailers. If you guys remember The Last Night, it's a cyberpunk pixel art sort of vibe to it. It was at the Xbox showcase. I'm pretty sure it was 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sounds about right. Which is a crazy amount of time. But amazing if that one's to come back, because that one, I'm loving what Replaced looks like, but I personally think Last Night looks even better. Definitely I'll take Replaced, obviously, though. But it's weird how Replaced has come along since, and that's looking like it might even beat it to the release. But yeah, again, things happen, and that's just the way it can be. We got Pong Soul in the house as well. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming by. Lovely to see you, my friend. I hope all is well with you. Yeah, I'm sure you're very much looking to Game Showcase season as well. Looking forward to it all. And yeah, thank you everyone else who's hanging out. So let's dive in to maybe a few off the bat sort of like predictions then, guys. I want to hear some juicy games that you're predicting to see, if we can. I'm going to start with Mav, who I'm sure is just going to have a bunch. He's keeping his ear to the ground all the time, I'm sure. You know, the kind of content he makes. Definitely check out his channel if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure all of you guys will know about it. But yeah, Mav, my friend, is there any predictions you'd like to make from any of the shows that's coming up this year?
Oh, man. We've done... Yeah, I mean, primarily I focus on the Xbox thing. I already kind of talked about Splinter Cell, you know, but the Splinter Cell is kind of like back of my brain kind of thing about really hopeful more than anything. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I know this is the Indie Games podcast, but you know me.
You go for whatever you want to do, my friend.
Okay. ZeniMax Online's game.
Okay.
I think we're gonna finally get the reveal for that, because when they brought in ZeniMax Bethesda, that was a game they seemed excited about being able to talk about in the future.
Right.
And that was during the roundtable. They had mentioned it, that they're working on a big new game and it's going to be bigger than anything they've done, all this kind of stuff. They're super excited about it. We know how much everybody is really into the games of service with Xbox right now, and how, especially with the MMO side, how well Elder Scrolls Online has always been doing. Then also now you have Fallout 76 having like a resurgence with that big multiplayer game as well. And I think they're going to come in here, and when we saw the layoffs happen with Xbox, they also emphasized more of again, ZeniMax Online getting more support, getting more investment, right? I think we're going to see the time for this game from them to be revealed. And I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be a huge game. It's going to surprise everybody. And potentially a licensed game. That was what some of the rumors were before. Other possibilities, it could be an MMO for an existing property.
Right.
But the sentiment was that this was going to be a big deal. And I think this is the year they're ready to showcase it. So we'll see that. I'm going to have a crazy speculation here from the ZeniMax Bethesda side as well.
Okay.
This speculation is that we will see the first tease since the original reveal of Elder Scrolls with maybe the title, and just that's it.
Okay. Right? Yep. Fair enough.
Maybe that's just it, because I think that since Starfield launched, if I kind of go back to what ZeniMax and Bethesda did before, when they did their own Bethesda shows, Todd Howard was already kind of starting to tease Starfield, right? A couple years in advance, right? And at that same teaser, he also teased Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
And if you go to the leaks from the FTC thing and all that kind of stuff, on the release schedule, they had on the documents, they had the Doom game on there, which was like a year after Starfield. Okay. And you had also was supposed to be the ZeniMax Online game, but then 3 years after Starfield was supposed to be Elder Scrolls 6. And I think that was based on the timeline of when they had the schedule for, we're doing all the major engine work for Starfield, and we're doing this and that. They've been a small team pre-production on things, and they should be ready to move over, and ready to roll for Elder Scrolls 6, and they don't want to take 6 years in between games right now, they did before, right? Because they've had that long wait before, and they can't be on that cycle with all these franchises. Can't do that with having 3 major pillar franchises now. You can't be on that kind of, hey, you have to wait 15 years for the next one of your favorites, right? You just can't do that. So I think they took the take the engine work, everything, and I think they're going to give at least the first tease at it and kind of start the discussion so that way he can talk about it in interviews more. He can talk about it and different things with his little teases that he does, his little nuggets he drops every once in a while.
Yeah.
So that would be something in the back of my mind because it would make a splash even if it just shows up, right?
Yep. Sounds good.
And then other than that, I guess I will. I want to pull out another crazy one.
Okay.
This is from Speculation Town, from the Town Hall of Speculation Town. Okay,
love it.
So we know that World's Edge is doing Age of Mythology Retold, right? And we know that they've been doing, they did Age 4. It came out, it's amazing. They finally got the console version out last year. Age of Mythology Retold is going to launch on PC and Xbox day and date this year. They had Age 2 is still killing it. They're still dropping amazing stuff for that. And we saw Phil talk about how great the Age franchise and all these things are doing on Xbox and on PC and stuff for them. And there's more people playing those games than some of the other franchises that they've been investing in. But a couple years ago, there was a little nugget that had dropped on one of the hiring posts, or one of the positions, as somebody that held a position there at World's Edge. And this was a rumor that added credibility this year with the reveal of Age of Mythology Retold. So on the hiring post, or on his job description or whatever.
Oh dear, I think we've dropped you again.
Whoa.
Oh, listing I heard, and then you dropped off. Sorry.
Oh, did it cut out again? Yeah. There was a he on his LinkedIn, right? He had his position. He was working also on a narrative experiences for transmedia and licensed games. In a licensed game at World's Edge. Okay.
Right.
So we haven't seen that. Now, remember last year, there was also rumors that they were working with another developer on another project. So my theory, is hypothetical, is that World's Edge is working on some kind of licensed game, and for some kind of RTS.
Okay.
And we may see that this year revealed.
Yeah. That makes
because
sense.
it would be 3 years in development if the other rumor that came true with Age of Mythology Retold was part of that. This would be the second half, right? Of the rumor mill that came out at that same time. We know Age of Mythology happened, so now I'm looking forward to seeing what this other transmedia and license type experience could be that he would be working on. Like what is it? I don't know, but yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I got probably 20 more I can drop, but no, we'll stick with those 3.
Yeah, we can come back around. So would you say they're predictions, or they are hopes for you? They're probably more prediction based. Yeah, they're what you.
Yeah, it's more of like
they're
shot
like
in the dark.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, shot in the dark, based on some kind of weird little nuggets that show up on the internet over the
that's cool.
Couple years.
Yeah, we'll go more predictions first. That's the idea. If it's something that you've got reason to believe, I suppose you could say, we'll be convicted and arrested and all that. Sorry, I don't know why I went down that route. But yeah, like we'll go with the more likely predictions, and then we'll come if you want to go for some like pie in the sky after, or whatever you want to do, hopes and dreams wise, or whatever. We can come back around. We just chat basically either way. That's fantastic though, Mav. I like those. Fantastic stuff. Belmont, my friend, have you got any predictions that you would like to predict from any of the shows that we've got coming up?
Yeah, I do. I think that we will definitely see some sort of Metroidvanias happen. I honestly want to see one in particular, the Siege in the Sandfox.
Oh yes, I know that one.
It's a stealth-based Metroidvania. Yeah. I'm thinking that we get to see that at one of these shows. I don't know which one it would be, but I think that we could possibly see something from that there. On the horror front. Obviously, we just had some rumors about Resident Evil and Resident Evil 9, what remakes they're doing. I think that we're going to get something Resident Evil related at one of these showcases.
Yeah.
Possibly the
Yeah,
Xbox One, possibly the Summer Games Fest.
It's a good
I don't
show.
know.
But
But
they're doing Code Veronica on there, I think. Is that right?
yeah. They're supposedly doing a Zero remake and a Code Veronica remake.
That's it. Yeah. Nice.
At the same time. So I don't know if we're going to see those there. I would love to see it, but I think it'll be more or less just announcing Resident Evil 9 personally. But if it's the remakes, hey, fair enough. I want to see both because I played Zero. It's on my lower tier of Resident Evil. And so I'd love to see that game being remade.
Yep.
I haven't played Code Veronica at all. That's
good.
actually a game that has eluded me for the longest time. But I'd love to play the original and see what they have to go with that remake. So that's that front. Also, we just got an announcement for Silent Hill 2 remake here recently, and going on that Silent Hill train, we didn't see anything for Silent Hill F, which we already know is in development. Konami announced it back in 2022, but we haven't heard a single thing about it. And we were supposed to get some info on that at this recent transmission that we got for it, but we didn't see anything. So what I'm thinking is we might see something for that during this whole season. I'm thinking probably at the Summer Games Fest, possibly, maybe. Who knows?
Could be.
Surprise me, Konami. But hopefully we see something with that because it's been a long time since we got a mainline Silent Hill game that wasn't a remake. So I'm hoping to see something on that because that's intriguing to me.
Sure. Nice.
And other than that, I'm hoping that the Xbox showcase has some games that just come out of nowhere and just surprise the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of IPs that I love. They have Doom, they have Elder Scrolls, they have Fallout, they have a bunch of game franchises, Halo, Gears that I love. So definitely. I'm hoping to see something from any one of those franchises.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've spoken about Doom recently. Was that confirmed that Doom's going to be there, or is that speculation town? Do you know, guys?
I'm thinking that was more speculation.
Yeah, speculation.
It's going to be there. Sure. Yeah,
speculation. Yeah, so but hopeful, that'd be nice.
The sources that came out with that are pretty strong, and the that's kind of the same with Gears. Like Gears is going to be there. Tom Warren was teasing Gears is going to be there like 2 months ago. Right. Sure. So some things got out about this show way in advance, and it's been worked on for 6 months.
The show.
So and Aaron Greenberg even said that, it's so like and from what we'd heard in the background a little bit was that it was really long and they've been trying to cut it down. And now the latest rumor is that they cut it all the way down to 2 hours, including Call of Duty. So,
oh really? Okay.
I think maybe it's gonna be like an hour and 40 minutes plus maybe 20 minutes of COD, or maybe it's an hour and a half and 30 minutes of COD. I don't know exactly what's what, but if they cut out that much stuff, that means that there's a lot of stuff that they're gonna show at other shows. That's why I was thinking maybe they have something at the Summer Game Fest also. Plus they got Gamescom, they got Tokyo Game Show they could do stuff at, and
there's a lot. There's a lot that they could do stuff at.
Yeah, definitely.
The Doom is a give. Like the reason I don't go with those on like the predictions are like Doom, Gears. Yeah, like everybody knows those are going to be there, right? There's
that would be another for me. That's one of the AAA games I will make time for. The Doom. Maybe.
So, Doom Dark Ages, man. It sounds be awesome, man.
Yeah, it's basically like medieval now or something. That's what I heard. Is that complete rubbish as well?
No, it's supposed to look like kind of like Quake style with castles.
I see. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm sure that's going to be truly awesome, and that's going to be the new iteration probably of the tech engine, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, and which was another thing, like if you listen to the Bethesda roundtable, again, I was really bitter the day that they closed Tango and Arcane Austin, so I forced our chat to watch the whole ZeniMax Bethesda roundtable.
Okay.
Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's not a big deal," and I'm like, "Yeah, listen to everything that they said here at this roundtable," and like seeing like Harvey Smith from Arcane Austin be like, "I trust Microsoft," you know.
Yeah,
It was so hard to watch, man.
Right.
But
it's a shame on that.
seeing that, something that they pointed out, like how excited they were when they were all talking, though, was about id Tech and the next iteration of id Tech.
Interesting.
And this will be the first time we see that. And you know that this is tech that they were excited as being part of that acquisition, right?
Yep. Definitely, it's such a good engine as well. You get such a good yield from it. That's my take on it anyway. You seem to be able to really push, you know, the frames on and everything like that. It just runs like a dream, and it's just a beast. But Doom is a great game in general anyway, though. It's just, yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, look forward to that one if that one comes. For, like I say, there's also actually just dodging around a little bit. Yeah, I'll just throw this one in there, and then Luke, you do your prediction. But like, you guys hear about, there was a beloved 2K franchise. I think it was it's supposed to be at Summer Game Fest. Is it anyone hear about that? Yeah. Is that the one we really want? You know, BioShock. Is
No, I think it's the one that
Borderlands.
we don't really want. Yeah,
it's gonna be Borderlands 4. Yeah,
which is
what we don't really
terrible
want.
shame. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see a new BioShock.
Oh,
I
that'd
don't
be
think.
so good.
I don't think it is. If one BioShock game is in development, it's probably nowhere near showing right about now.
It's supposed to have been in development years ago.
Yeah,
are you going to be as excited for BioShock when Ken Levine's doing Judas? Like,
it could be happening.
It could still be a very
If you think
game.
about Schofield, Glenn Schofield, he had a game. He had Dead Space, the new one, in development at the same time as his new one, didn't he? So it could be a similar thing to that. So it's basically the same in that, maybe. What's his name called? Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, Glenn Schofield. He was not at that studio though anymore, was he? Like he was just doing Callisto.
No, that's what I mean. That's the same thing, though, isn't it? Judas. He's working on Judas.
Right. No, what I'm saying is, like, are we going to be as excited for BioShock without Ken Levine being involved?
That's the question. I mean, I did like BioShock 2. I like BioShock 2. I know a lot of people didn't, but
I like BioShock 2. So I think I don't think it's the best one, but
to be fair, that's actually the game that got me into the BioShock franchise, so I can't say much. Right?
Yeah, I actually prefer BioShock 2 to the third one, which I've totally forgotten the name of, Columbia one, whatever it's called. Jesus
Infinite.
Christ. Thank you. Yeah.
Infinite.
I like 1 and 2. 1 is my favorite, then 2, and then yes, Rapture is amazing. So, but yeah, that could happen. I think they're supposed to be in development, isn't it? Like BioShock 4. I think go on. Sorry, go.
Yeah, no, it's been in dev for a while apparently, but I just don't see it being that this 2K. Like it's either going to be there's three candidates basically. There's BioShock, there's Borderlands, and I guess there's Mafia as well.
Yeah,
those are the franchises they could be. But I think BioShock is just something tells me that's the least likely.
Yeah,
out of the three, and just Borderlands sadly is the most likely.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Because it's quite churned out, isn't it? That's the problem.
So I'll throw a hypothetical just to throw like a random one out there that it could be. I'm convinced this is going to be Borderlands 4, right?
Yeah.
They just got Gearbox. Like we know that it's been in development. They said it's not that far away when they made the acquisition and all that kind of stuff. So my mind, plus also the Borderlands movie is still coming. My mind is it's going to be Borderlands 4, right?
They did talk about a BioShock series though as well, didn't they? I don't know if that was even.
Yeah, and you're gonna probably see Randy Pitchford on a with powder on his nose going up there. Yeah, let's go.
He's a bit iffy, that guy.
But I'll throw another one out there just for the sake of it, right? And this is going back to remember a while back, 2K was looking at acquiring the racing studios that EA bought. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. And the
Codemasters.
ones that make Dirt and all. Yeah, Codemasters. Thank you. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
And so the 2K was trying to get Codemasters. They didn't. EA got them, right? And then also you saw, or at that point when they were talking about financials and stuff, and they had a meeting, they mentioned that they were working on a racing, bringing a racing game back, right? So now since then we've seen 2K Lego the racing, like, and I don't know if that's what they were referring to. I hope not. But if that was the case, just hypothetically, because of all the work that Rockstar's doing with GTA and all that stuff, maybe they had a separate team working to do a new Midnight Club.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome to see that come back. And it was a big franchise for them before. And we've seen a resurgence of racing this generation already, like with several different games. So just throwing it out there. I would like to see Rockstar not just be a one game studio.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because back in the day, they weren't. Like you said, they had Midnight Club. They had, I believe it was, wasn't it no, I don't think it was True Crime. But they had more franchises. They had Manhunt, I know for a fact. Manhunt was a good game that they did. And so they were not just GTA back in the day, and they eventually became that. I'd love to see them branch out and do more of their other stuff. Well, actually, they aren't just a one-game studio these days. It's Red Dead. But I'd love for them to just do more than Red Dead and GTA. You know, like go back to the well on Midnight Club, like Mav was saying there, because that was one of my favorite racing games back in the day. Midnight Club 3 was awesome.
And we haven't got enough racing games in terms of that kind of party, if you know what I mean.
Nah. Like, it's mostly just like you have your sim racers and you have your rally racers, but you don't really see too many of those like Midnight Club or even Need for Speeds just all over the place, you know? We need more racing games that have that realistic look, but with an arcadey feel to it, like a Midnight Club did.
Yep. And Ray in the chat said Bully as well. That was Rockstar, wasn't it? Good shout.
Yeah, Bully.
That got canned, didn't it? That's a good one.
Yeah, they were at one point they were making another game called Agent, and that got canned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a PS3 game.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I think the days of Rockstar making multiple games are very much over.
Probably so. But don't take my hope away.
No, that's it. Yeah, we like that. We like that fun speculation, Mister.
If any of them, I think if any of them has a chance to come back, it would be one of two games. It would be Bully, or it would be Midnight Club. A Midnight Club, just because there is, you look at what they could possibly think to do with it, monetization and all those kind of things. It would just kind of be a good possibility for them. And they're already making the tech within GTA. Like before, they've always kind of used the tech from GTA, and they kind of worked on that stuff. And they kind of, okay, let's make a more polished, better racing game out of this, right? That's kind of what Midnight Club LA felt like. But if they did it here, it would be awesome. The only reason, like, the realistic side of me thinks they don't or they won't is because they have a big racing component in GTA now, right? And like GTA Online. So for them, it's like maybe that's just what they focus on, is expanding that, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. Luke, predictions, sir. Any from you, my friend?
I've been trying to think of this as other people have been saying their predictions, and nothing is really to mind.
It's tricky sometimes.
It's quite tricky, because I'm trying to think what is realistic, and then what's like an out there prediction. I'm not really one for making like out there predictions.
That's cool.
Just because you end up slightly disappointed when they don't happen, like even if it's out there. So I mean, for me, like Doom was the big one, I think.
Yeah.
Like if I've come into it wanting something, Doom was a big one, and it looks like we'll get that. So that's awesome. We're looking forward to.
What would you like to
that.
see from Doom then, in terms of that?
I mean, I think, look, if it's what the rumor is, which is like a medieval styled one, then that's exactly what I would have wanted from it. Like a completely different direction in terms of world, but still a Doom game, because that just, if you think of, whenever I picture it in my head, I picture a lot of Witchfire.
Oh yeah,
right?
nice.
Which came out, which is sort of a medieval FPS.
Yeah,
and that is an excellent game, really good. But obviously, it's we're talking about a small independent studio there compared to id.
Yeah.
So, and Doom has a different art style, which is a bit more kind of elaborate and over the top and that sort of stuff. So,
it kind of
whenever
sounds...
I picture it.
Yeah, sorry, go.
No, go on.
No, you go. Sorry. I was
what I was going to say, whenever I picture it, it looks a bit like Witchfire, but just like souped up. Basically, like,
that sounds good.
Way over the top,
I need to get to that game. It looks good.
It's very good. It's very good.
It kind of reminds me like a bit obvious thing to say, but it's kind of like Quake, isn't it? It makes me think, they're going to have like the nail gun and stuff like that, and all the sort of like mechanical weapons rather than all this sort of more futuristic stuff. Maybe
exactly.
That's what...
yeah, kind of more. I don't want to say grounded in reality weapons, but more like physicalized weapons, almost. Kind of.
Exactly.
Mechanical weapons. That's what I think of when I think of that setting.
Like cranking it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
With a minigun that cranks kind of around and around. Yeah, or something like that.
We know what you meant.
You know what I'm going on about.
But I think if they just transpose the Doomslayer into medieval times with the same weaponry, that would be pretty boring. I think that would be quite underwhelming. You've got to. Like the Doomslayer is like thousands of years old, right? In the lore,
right?
So there's like you can have him be alive using old weapons, and that would be really fun.
Yes.
So that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm expecting.
That'd be cool.
So that was a big one. The only other one I was going to say, which we already know about, but actually, come to think of it, there's two. One is. No, there's three. I'm going to give you three, and I'll rattle through them quickly. One we already know about, which was announced last year, and I don't know what this publisher are doing this year, whether they're going to have their showcase or not. But it's the Blade Runner game from Annapurna that they announced. I really want to see that. They had that really cool trailer last year in the Annapurna showcase. It was their last thing.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Blade Runner fan, and I think Annapurna it's their first in-house developed game as well. It's actually Annapurna developing
That's right. Yeah, I remember.
So that could be really cool. So I want to see that. And then there's two that I really hope are there, which we haven't. I mean, one we've never really seen, and two we've kind of seen, but just in very brief screenshots. So one of them is Playdead. Next game, which I guess could show up probably any Summer Game Fest or Xbox show. Realistically, it's probably one of those.
Yeah, probably one of them. I reckon. I see more of Summer Game Fest for them for some reason. Don't know why. Maybe.
Yeah. They've been very quiet for a long time because their games take 5 or 6 years to develop.
Yeah.
But we've had some concept art on that, and it looks like a cool ass Playdead game, right?
Definite. Still no title on it either.
No title, no. So I'm hoping we get a full reveal, some gameplay, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's that one. And then the other one is Fumito Ueda's game that he signed with Epic years and years ago.
Okay.
So he is the creator of Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian.
Ooh.
And he signed with I can't remember his studio. It's Gen something studio, Gen Design. He signed a deal with Epic to make a new game. In fact, it was announced around the time Epic. I think it was announced in the same press release when they announced that they signed a deal with Remedy for Alan Wake 2.
Nice.
So as far as we know, that's still in development.
Yep.
But we've never seen anything of it, and it's been deathly silent. So I'd love to see that. That would be, a very creative, interesting game from him. So yeah, so I think those ones. My predictions are we'll see of those two unlikely ones. We'll see one of them. How about that?
That's cool. I say, man, play it better, hedging his bets and tactically playing it.
Yeah. The only other one that I know is going to be there that I'm looking forward to seeing, and again, not a prediction because we know it, but that's Slitterhead, which is going to be at the Summer Games Fest. So that's that's Hiro Toyama's new studio game. So he was the director on Silent Hill 2.
Oh, okay, right.
He was at Sony Japan, and he left when Sony Japan, was shuttered, and he set up his own independent studio. And actually, they don't even have a publisher still, but they're making the game.
Right.
So it's kind of an independent horror game, effectively, but it's going to be some madness because Toyama's a bit bonkers. So they've already set the initial gameplay at Summer Game Fest for that. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Cool. Nice.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one too. Yeah, because I remember hearing about that game. So
yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, so those are mine.
Very nice, very nice. As they say. No, that's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, isn't there, that could come up, and I mean, my real well, I'm trying to do predictions here, but I was going to say my real dream would be The Last Night coming back. I think that would just be so incredible. I'm pretty sure Luke would love that as well.
Yeah,
I'd love that. I feel like a lot of people have forgotten about that game, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's about 7 years old.
It's
now,
fair
isn't it?
enough,
So,
I suppose.
yeah.
It needs a reintroductory to the world of gamers. But yeah, it's being made, so it's got to happen at some point. That's the thing with these things. There's so many on the way there. I think it was an Xbox showcase. I don't know if you remember last time. I think it was Routine. Do you remember that one? It was really sort of.
Oh yeah, that was the first person.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, because that was announced literally 10 years ago.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
I remember because I remember following it at the time, and then they went completely silent for basically until they revealed it. I was shocked when I saw it again.
Yeah, it looked really good as well.
Yeah, it did.
Quite sort of edgy sort of thing.
Yeah. It's a horror game, I think.
Yeah, it's really good lighting, it's got a really good visual style to it. But yeah, it definitely looks. It's got sort of almost like an Aliens kind of vibe. I don't know, maybe that's a bit of a. You know what I mean? Sort of that retro futuristic kind of look. But yeah, I really like the look of that. That's one I'd like to see more of, but. There are so many, really. But yeah, Xbox showcase. I mean, it's going to be great if we see obviously Silksong and things like that. That's going to be, mind-blowing goodness. But yeah, the good thing is we've got, like I say, we've got Neva lined up. That's one of mine. But again, that's going to be Summer Game Fest, and one of the games I'm really looking forward to is on my top 15. Best upcoming indie games of 2024, if you were paying attention, guys. So yeah, good to see that coming back. Actually, just going to shout out because I just happened to re-notice it again today. It's a bit random, but Greenfield, guys, if you like Inside and Limbo, those kinds of games, I know Luke does, check out Greenfield. It's on Steam for wish listing at the moment. If you like those sorts of games, just worth checking out. That'd be cool to see a bit more of that game. Don't know if you've seen that one, Luke, have you?
Yeah, well, that I remember. That's because it's a one-man game, isn't it?
It's a one-man game. That's it. You got it.
Yeah,
it's a while back. We probably talked about it before, and I just forgot about it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, because didn't it start off as an animation project?
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, cool. It started off as just the guy doing some cool animation stuff, but just in a bit, kind of in a game-looking form. And I think people were like, oh. This looks like it could be a great game.
Yeah, basically.
And then he came out and was like, I think it was last year he announced it officially for the first time. He was like, or maybe in 2022.
Right.
Where he's like, oh yeah, I'm actually making the game now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks awesome. It looks really cool.
It's really impressive stuff. Yeah, for just the whole art style of it and everything. Got that sort of atmospheric kind of vibe. Perfectly sort of fit in that inside sort of aspect. Obviously, going, it's not. Inside is going to be an amazing game on its own. It's one of those truly landmark games. but you know, it's never to compare against it, of course. But it's, you know, if you like that sort of game, it's that kind of thing. But check it out, guys. But yeah, there is a ton, isn't there? So like, I mean, one game, don't know if you guys remember from last year. I think it was last year it was shown. It might have been the year. No, it was last year. It was on the PlayStation Showcase. Sword of the Sea. Do you reckon we'll see any more on that? That one's Giant Squid, obviously. Don't know if you. Yeah, remember that one? Yep.
Yeah, hopefully.
That'd be quite nice. Although it is with PlayStation, that's the only thing, wasn't it? So that could mean it goes Summer Game Fest, though, potentially.
Yeah, potentially. It's not published, is it, by PlayStation?
No, it's a Giant Squid self-published.
Yeah, self-published. It's just that they showed it.
True.
Although I think was it announced? Was it announced just for PlayStation and PC at the time?
It was PlayStation and PC. Yeah. I think it is coming to PlayStation and PC only. But again, that could be
very good. That one.
It looks so nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Like, I mean, if you're a fan of like obviously all the games which it's been affiliated with, and you know the games they've actually made, like Journey and stuff like that. You know, it's the artists behind that, and obviously like Abzu and the Pathless as well, which I still need to get to. The Pathless, I know you're going to tell me off again. I know, it's on sale as well. I need to get to it.
Yeah, it's very good. You really enjoy it. Yeah.
I know, I really would. It's right on my street. I love Abzu, love Journey. So yes, it does look perfectly up my street. It's just challenging, isn't it, to get so much of these things. But yeah, like that'd be cool to see something like that reemerge. But yeah, then we got the you know, the two Devolver games that I've been pining after for a while, and that is you know, Plucky Squire and Skate Story. Potentially we could see something of them, because Devolver have come out and said that they are still 2024 games, and they are coming out this year. Okay. So that's quite interesting. And they also said neither was still a 2024 game a little bit further back, and now obviously we're getting the gameplay trailer, so it could mean something like Plucky Squire and like I say, Skate Story could be getting the same treatment, maybe at a different show, maybe Xbox. I could see maybe a Skate Story sneaking into the Xbox show, getting a big limelight. That'd be pretty cool. Be pretty nice. I'd love to see it. But yeah, Devolver got some good stuff on the way as well. They've obviously got their own show. That would make sense. I forgot about that because we're not covering it this year.
They might just show it there.
I forgot that they literally put it on like in the middle of the night, so no one will see it. But in the UK, that is. But there we go. They might even put it on the Xbox show, even though, because they don't usually put a lot of games on their shows. Ironically, do they?
No. The funny thing about their shows is that you almost don't tune in for the games at all. Actually, you kind of tune in for everything else. Quite a unique way to do a gaming show, but it works.
Yeah, they're making it work somehow. Like, I think if anyone else tried it, it would fall flat on its face. But but yeah, like any other. Okay, we've done some predictions. Do you want to do a few like sort of like pie in the sky stuff? I know Luke's probably going to cringe at this thought, but you can go with whatever you want to talk about. We'll go around one more time and talk about, you know, generally. Actually, I'll tell you what I will do is quickly shout the chat's comments out, because I need to make sure they are I'm doing that too, because we really appreciate you guys. You are legends for being here, and it's been a really good turnout as well. So yeah, thank you, Stubbs Gaming, Ukadazarus, and Paul, and Ray in there, Ruby. But yes, let's see. Got Midnight Club, Eyes on the Mid Club for Ray there. And Ruby was saying about BioShock finishing both of the or BioShock 2 with a good ending. Cool, fantastic stuff. I know Stubbsy was talking about Gears, so yeah, I mean, I would like to see Gears. I'd like to see it go back to the sort of survival horror feel with Gears. That would be sweet, and get it, you know, really gritty, because that's where I think it was pretty cool back in the day. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Gears back, because it is a pillar of the Xbox, you know, history, isn't it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Plus, I think even if you're not a Gears fan, and I'm a Gears fan, but even if you're not, then I think that would be a really cool game just to see, because I imagine it's gonna blow people away visually and stuff like that. So,
and it's Unreal Engine 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
which is cool. So yeah, lots of games coming out in Unreal Engine 5, and some of them switching over to it. I think from Xbox in there, so they're switching. What was it? Switching over to Unreal.
Avowed, I think.
Avowed, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Because yeah, they've got like if I've heard it right on other shows I've been listening to, they've got like a team dedicated to making sure everyone's, fully au fait with the whole Unreal Engine, and it's it means that a lot of people can be completely familiar with it rather than having to learn new engines and stuff like that. That's the little take I've taken away from what I've heard anyway, which makes total sense because it's a universally available platform to if you've got knowledge of, if you see what I mean. But yeah, last time obviously you've got the Xbox showcase sort of sizzle of what showed up on the screen right now, flicking over, and Jusant showed up on that one, which was pretty cool. So something like that would be nice to see just popping up on our screen, wouldn't it? Because I know we both enjoyed that game, didn't we? Yeah, so those little gems popping up is what we love. But yeah, let's do a little round of just, well, you may have done it already, but Mav, have you got any other final sort of like real, I know we're talking Splinter Cell territory here, so go with that as your first one, but is there any others that are in that sort of territory for you, my man?
I mean, my regular predictions are pretty pie in the sky.
They are pretty good anyway.
Yeah.
You've got a different set of bar there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always just thinking about possibilities and stuff.
Yeah.
So one of them would be I'll just go with what I want to see.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But I'm going to go with ones that are in the realm of possibilities. So this is not like crazy or anything, right? But I'll make a little bit of a off the wall prediction that we're going to see something new from Halo.
Okay. Something, is that going to be something different, as in not to the usual mainline?
Not Halo Infinite. It's going to be either like certain affinities, like Halo thing that they've been working on behind the scenes for a while.
Yeah.
Or they could make the first tease and hint about the next mainline Halo, because Brian Gerard early this year said on their Halo thing, the update, that they were already working on the next mainline, right?
Yeah.
And Halo's something they generally market for years in advance, right? They don't just wait till the year of release to market it. So
sure, true.
Hypothetically, we could see the first glimpse of whatever that is here, especially if some of the rumors of the next Xbox launching sooner than we think, maybe late 2026, early 2027, if that's actually real, then you could potentially see something Halo here as well. So something Halo
Wars, maybe.
Oh man,
I know you're a fan.
Yeah, like that would be an absolute dream. Relic is available out there to help on it.
Yep.
If they wanted to, because they just became independent.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Maybe they could get Creative Assembly, who they had suffered some layoffs from Sega as well. I'm not sure, but both those teams had worked with Halo Wars before with World's Edge.
Right.
If you want to go and add that to the speculation about World's Edge, last year it came out that they were working with they had said this, that they were working with another developer on another project, right? And the only thing we've seen since then is Age of Mythology Retold, which they had also teased kind of separately at that same thing. So I don't think it's the same project, right? So whatever that other thing is with somebody else. Either it's a license thing, or it's another IP, or it's something like Halo related, or who knows, right? But I'm an RTS guy, and I'm more of a traditional RTS guy. So when it comes to like Halo Wars, Command and Conquer, Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle Earth, like StarCraft, those are my kind of games, right? I want to see something from there.
That'd be cool.
Speaking of StarCraft,
I thought you might say
we're in RTS territory here, right? Okay, so you have the potential of them actually teasing the next StarCraft game. And it could be for the sake of recruiting and hiring and all that kind of stuff as well. Will be early in development. But it's one of the pillar franchises at Blizzard. There's no BlizzCon this year.
Okay.
There was something on Twitter that happened like a year and a half ago with Micah Barra. And if y'all know Simu Liu, the actor that plays Shang-Chi, he was also in Barbie. He's also in this new Netflix movie that came out, Atlas, with Jennifer Lopez.
Oh yes,
really good, really good actor, but he's a gamer. The dude's a pure gamer. He's a Halo fan. He had mentioned like and just made a tweet one day, like a year and a half ago, like about, hey, you need to make the next StarCraft or something. And Micah Barra replied with a wink. Okay.
Very nice.
Now, since then, we had seen Blizzard say that they were starting that survival games franchise, and they were going to be working on that, and they've been recruiting on that. They announced it kind of early for the sake of recruitment and hiring for that team, and it was supposedly further along than a lot of us had thought. But that team and that game had been, after the acquisition was announced, that was shut down, right? So maybe it's shut down for resources and staff and everything for StarCraft, because they would have had to recruit a whole new StarCraft team because they pretty much lost everybody, right?
Right.
So that hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
Maybe StarCraft, we see that come back.
Yeah, that's a solid chance, I would say. Yeah, they've been talking about that, haven't they? You know, it makes sense, kind of thing.
If you want to make a splash, you make a splash with your big franchises. And what did Microsoft say? Like they're focusing on their biggest franchises, just like a lot of the other publishers, right? That's what they said when they did the layoffs and stuff, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, but yeah.
And that's
which
what
is obviously
critical
a shame for things like, you know, the Tango game works and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah,
but then they also, Micah Barra said that they want to make small award-winning games. So they're like saying different things to different people, you know. But when they made that streamlining thing, and then it was mainly focused, this was on ZeniMax Bethesda, so not necessarily ABK, but they had made the point of like allocating resources to their big franchises and stuff like that, right? And if that's just kind of a philosophy, we know that's kind of Microsoft's MO anyway. Like they do it with Halo, Forza, you know, Gears, and they have Age of Empires ongoing, you know, like Flight Simulator, and they're bringing back other franchises too, like Perfect Dark and stuff. They're really trying to have multiple big franchises that they can kind of play off of for many years. Fallout, obviously, as well.
Sure, yeah.
So it would make sense for them to invest in more of some games and StarCraft has been dormant there for a long time. And if I was Phil Spencer and we got Blizzard, I'm like, okay, where's StarCraft? You know, like where is it? Because that's big, and especially at esports as well. And you can do a lot of different transmedia things with that. It's a huge property. So
sure, yeah.
And then I'll do one more. I'll kind of. No, this is hard, Indy, because there's like 30 things that run through my brain whenever it comes to like
If you want, I can ask you. I was just curious, actually, while you ever think about that. If you want, do you think Double Fine will be there this year? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I think they'll show up, and there's a chance that one could be the Shadow Drop. There's a rumor of a Shadow Drop, right? So the Shadow Drop's either Towerborn, going to go into like game preview.
That makes sense,
right?
Yeah,
and I think it would be a game preview game because it's like an ongoing service kind of game, right? And the rumors were from the people that played the insiders that insider testing, it wasn't like super ready, right? But it's a game that is it ever going to market that well? You know, like you're not going to draw that much hyper excitement. But if you just launch it, Shadow Drop it, into Game Pass and do game preview, you can build an audience over it. So it's either Towerborn, or it's one of those smaller Double Fine games like Kiln, which was the clay game.
Russian Dolls one, isn't it? Is that right?
No, so you make like you have like a clay pot that you like mold, and then you like, you know, what is it called when you put it in the furnace or whatever? You make the clay hard or whatever. Anyway, I
know what you mean. You forgot the name,
that thing. You do that, and then your clay pot thing, you go and fight with it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's great. It's a crazy looking game.
It's a typical Double Fine situation.
Yeah, there was a prototype of it like a couple of years ago from the people that were testing it, and that's supposedly one of the projects we're working on. So I don't know. You could see something like that, or the other one that was just possibility, it would be like Flight Sim.
Yep. Seems like it's there every time.
So, but specifically for like a shadow drop, like you could potentially do that. That one's less likely, or it could be a game that that we never thought of or heard of, like Hyper Rush 2.
Wow, that would be controversial.
But yeah, the shadow drop I think is going to happen. The other rumor that happened was there was going to be a tease and acknowledgement of the handheld.
Right.
That rumor started spreading around yesterday from somebody that's gotten a lot of stuff right before. So that would make sense if they just hinted at it, that acknowledged its existence. But I want to do one more game, bro.
Give me it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a moment instead of a game, just for the Gears, just for the Gears fans. Okay,
so Stubbsy, ready?
This is gonna be a double special. Okay, and I think this is gonna be potentially the thing that ends the show.
Oh,
okay. So you're going to have Gears 6 trailer drop, right? And it's gonna be like, whoa, what's going on? It's gonna be looking Unreal 5, and it's gonna look amazing. It's like, what? What is this? Oh my god! And they're gonna say, but you're gonna have to wait for a while, guys. And I think it's probably gonna be like a 2026 game, but they're not gonna say a year. But then at the end of it, they're gonna say, but for you Gears fans that can't wait, for you Gears fans that just got to play something new and fresh now, check this out. And then it's gonna drop. The lights are gonna go dim, and you're gonna have the Mad World trailer from Gears of War, the original, play recreated in Unreal Engine 5, and then they're gonna say this holiday or next spring or whatever, sometime sooner than later, you're gonna be able to play the original Gears collection,
nice.
with a full multiplayer suite and all this kind of stuff, and the Gears audience is going to be in tears.
I think
Stubbs will be crying.
I think Lady Foxfire's ready for it as well by the look of the chat.
And it's going to be that moment. Like it's one of those moments that you would be just missing the boat if you don't reveal it in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to reveal it that way.
That's
it's
what
like
they need.
when they revealed that they're making a Splinter Cell game finally again. They did it in a blog post.
Yeah.
Like how are you gonna do that? Like don't ruin the moment. Come out later and make a huge splash. And I think that moment right there, if they did it, would be the talk of the show. We're almost independently of anything else they show. If you recreate that moment, just the nostalgia feel and the emotion that would come out from the 360 fans, Gears fans, all that would show through.
Nice, my man. I think they'll have some trouble recreating the moment what you just created. that was the moment that you just created there, my friend. The suspense was amazing.
Well, they can do it.
Yes, they need you.
They can do it. Like, why don't they? Like, it seems like there's all these obvious home runs all these times for these companies, and it's like they don't do them sometimes.
I know.
Like, why not?
It is frustrating.
Yeah. It's super frustrating. I am a fan of a company that is the king of doing that, Konami.
Which we could see Metal. I'm gonna call that Metal Gear Delta is gonna be at the show.
Nice. Very good stuff. Loving the chat comments. Stubbs is reaching for a sock. Dazzy baby, of course, delivering that one. I love it. That's great stuff, guys. And of course, Lady Foxfire, the huge Gears fan as well. So sorry I left you out for the first part there, but that was amazing, Mav. I love that. They do need to do that, and it would be awesome. It's about time for some Gears news, I think, for all those Gears fans. And like I say, it's the legacy, isn't it? Bring it back and show that Xbox is still relevant. Not that there was any doubt, but just. It's good to reaffirm that, isn't it?
The point of it, though, just for the sake of it, just to add onto that, right? A lot of the audience that abandoned Xbox, that don't think of Xbox as the cool place to play anymore, still has those memories of the 360 era, because the 360 was the place to be, right? At the time, you had Gears of War, Halo, Forza, all clicking, like in a big way.
Yes.
And if you recapture the feeling that people had from that era and bring it to people now, but in a bigger, better way, it can transfer the mind to those people that have written Xbox off as like Xbox is back, you know. And the truth is, they are back. They have so many games coming out, like crazy, all hitting in Game Pass. There's like 8 games launching this year, later the second half. Man, it's nuts. So if you kind of just put yourself back on the radar, like, look, you loved this. Do you still love it? Come check it out. Like, just put it back in their minds, you know.
Doesn't take too much. I mean, they've done a bit. What it is they've had a bit of a wobble with the marketing tactical approach, I think, lately, isn't it? They've not really played the game right. It's not that they haven't got the games. It's just they need to showcase that in the right way and just just put that out there, really. So yeah, hopefully this is a really good opportunity for them to actually, like I say, put that back in and just prove themselves to everyone again, or just gain back some trust, I suppose you could say, from the ones who are a little bit wavering on that. But yeah, that was very well put there, my friend. So yeah, Belmont, is there any last games that you wanted to talk about, or any sort of showcase, or just a wrap up of any final things you wanted to mention, any suspenseful moments that you wanted to go through like Matt's done, or whatever you want to wrap up on, my friend?
Well, I honestly, one of my wet dream games is, since we've been getting all these Castlevania collections here recently, I would love for more people to be able to play the Nintendo DS games without having to go and get an actual DS to play them. So I would love to see something like that happen. And my biggest wet dream moment, and I know that this is never gonna, this is not gonna happen, at least not this year, but I just would love to be watching that Summer Games Fest, and then Jeff be like, "Oh wait, I got one more game for you," and then fades to black. It comes in, this beautiful rendition of Bloody Tears happens, and I see this beautiful 2.5D looking Symphony of the Night sequel.
Ooh.
Brand new Castlevania game.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Nice.
It has been a dream that has been playing in my head over and over and over again. And one of these days I'm going to see it.
Yeah,
One of these days I'm going to see it.
Believe in it will happen. Definitely. I mean, that would be pretty sweet. What are the chances, do you think, of it happening at some point in the next year or so? Do you have a few years, or think there's any chance of that?
Not this year. Absolutely not this year. But I'm thinking around 2025, 2026, there may be a possibility, because I've heard through the grapevine that Konami apparently is working on something Castlevania related. I don't know what it is, but I've heard some things.
Yeah, I'd expect Castlevania back, because they're bringing back all their other franchises, so why wouldn't they bring back
and that's why I heard that, because I was talking to somebody, and I was going on a rant about how, Konami brings Metal Gear and Silent Hill back, but they're just Castlevania's the redheaded stepchild, and they're just like, shut up, they're doing something, okay?
Yeah.
Good shout.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is I don't think, if it's coming back, which I think it is at some point, I don't think at any point will Jeff Keighley get the announcement for that.
Oh, really?
Well, we remember Konami and Jeff Keighley, don't we? When Kojima left. So
sure,
they are not continue to not be on good terms. So I don't think they will ever give any of that. And in fact, I think I remember he laughed off Konami having something at his show in that Q&A he did. Someone said, anything from Konami.
Oh, really?
He's just like, no.
So, right. Another one of those little, those guys. Oh, I love those guys.
So if it is coming, I don't think it's ever going to be at Jeff Keighley's show.
But that's a good point, though, because, I mean, that it makes sense for it to come back in. If that's the case as well, obviously, bringing back the other stuff. And also, it's good timing for that type of game as well, isn't it? So it would make sense.
Yeah, plus the big Netflix series that was a huge success. So it's arguably it's more in the zeitgeist than Silent Hill and Metal Gear.
Right.
So I'm sure they must be working on something.
Belmont's getting excited over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have been waiting 9 almost 10 years. This year makes 10 years since the last officially released Castlevania game. So
yeah, I can imagine that. I can believe that's true as well for you. I know you're such a big fan.
It's been torture.
That's awesome, buddy. No, I love your passion for the Castlevania goodness, and Metroidvania goodness, of course. But yeah, any other things you wanted to mention at all, with regards to anything, Belmont?
No, that's pretty much it. Because like I said, I did say what I thought about Resident Evil and Silent Hill already.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Great stuff. And then Luke, my friend, is there any final games you want to talk about?
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good, you said.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, the accent.
Yeah, the accent, yeah. That's all right.
Did you think that was quite Sheffield like?
Yeah, it's pretty Yorkshire-ish, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna try and carry it on.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not
bad.
At all,
I'll lose it now if I try it again.
I thought Sean Bean was in the room. That's how.
I'd love to have a Sean Bean voice all the time. That would be lovely.
Oh, that'd be incredible, wouldn't it?
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah. He's such a legend. Yeah, that's great. Okay, for future shows, I'll bring my Sean Bean voice. Amazing. Oh, you put the pressure on. I can't try it again now because it'll be crap.
Don't do it now. Yeah.
Amazing. So was there any like other games that you've like I say seen in the past or you want to see come back, or just anything that you wanted to wrap up on the showcases and that kind of thing?
Trying to think of like something else. In a better world, I'd love to see Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
Be re-revealed and gameplay and stuff. But I mean that is still in development, but it's going to be a long way away now that it's mode developer and stuff. So that's a pipe dream one, but I would love that.
Yeah.
And then in terms of other stuff, I don't know, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing Fable again.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that on the cards for this year, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Like seeing a slice of actual gameplay, like a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
that would be very cool to see that. Just to see what it looks like and what they've gone for. Obviously, we saw the trailer last year, which had very, very tiny slivers of gameplay in there. But
yeah, Richard Ayoade as well. That was such a surprise.
Richard Ayoade. Yeah, it was mostly Richard Ayoade, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I'd like to see that, and I'd like to see just something new from Devolver, like some new game. Because we know what they've got coming up, and they all look great.
Oh, I'll tell you something on that note. Sorry, you carry on talking. I'm just going to find you something while you do. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
I've got. So you want something new from Devolver? I can present that for you right away. So if you like.
Look at that. See, you're making my dreams come true.
I do. That's what I'm here for, my friend. Let me just present you something on screen right now. Actually, if I don't mess this up, that is. Let's see if this works here. There we go. Right, yeah, you got your screen up. What do we have here? Did you happen to see this on Twitter the other day? A little reveal of... this is a little teaser, of course. This is not the full trailer, but this was what Devolver posted. There's a little tease ahead of the show.
I didn't see this at all, actually.
Oh, it's you recognise the logo by any chance? It's a test now, obviously.
Is that Heart Machine?
Oh, very good. So I got it straight away as well. So we are champions in arms. It's Heart Machine logo. Yeah, so they've got another game in the works with Devolver.
Oh, right. That's because they've got Hyperlight Breaker, right? So
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But
this is something else.
That's okay. That's really interesting.
That's exciting.
Awesome. In fact, I almost kind of wish they hadn't teased this.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That would have been a cool announcement. But
yeah, it says look, reveal on June the 7th. That's when the.
Is that what that game? Is that the clip from the game or the art from it? Because that looks really good.
Looks cool, doesn't it? Like almost like a cyberpunky sort of vibe. I don't know. It's like, atmospheric anyway. But Looks very cool, very stylish, and I'm really looking forward to finding out what this is. If you look at that character standing there, is that horns or what's that on the head?
No, it looks like horns. Doesn't it?
Yeah, let's notice that. But yeah, so I'm excited for seeing what this will be. This will be at the Devolver show. So you got your wish there, so I could.
There we go. And yeah, awesome.
And
the
Heart
only other one
Machine
as well.
Sorry, say again.
No, I was going to say the only other thing I would love to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is pipe dream. I have no idea what they're working on. I want to see what Mobius Games are working on next. Who are the Outer Wilds developers?
Yeah, well, funny you say that, actually. I swear I'm only joking.
Don't play with me.
That would be pretty cool if I had another trailer lined up.
Yeah.
Because Paul's already calling me up for having a scripted moment with you there.
Yeah, yeah, we rehearsed that before.
Yeah, exactly. No Mobius games.
Mobius would be. In fact, I think out of all the studios to announce games, like if I could pick one studio, it would be their next, them to reveal whatever they're working on.
Well, yeah, it's a big.
I don't think it'll be Outer Wilds. They did the expansion.
Yeah,
I think they're done with that now.
But
yeah,
what was their previous game to that?
There wasn't.
Is that their first game?
Yeah, Outer Wilds was their first game.
Yeah, I wonder what they would do next. You think they would do something similar or completely different? It's hard to tell. Obviously.
I think maybe the spirit of Outer Wilds is what they carry over into the next project. Maybe something similar in terms of like, that sort of non-scripted emergent storytelling, heavily environmental based and puzzles. Like they may do something similar. But it will probably be something very different settings wise to Outer Wilds, I would think. It's hard to know. They're still a very small team.
Yes,
and Outer Wilds took like a long time to make because it was initially a university project.
Right.
By the founder, and then he kind of evolved it into a game and started hiring people, and obviously then made one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. So it's pretty impressive.
It's cool. Yeah.
So I think they're still very small. They might just be like 10 or something like that. So
that's good.
But even if they just teased it, like to see the direction they're going in, that would make me very happy. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. I'd be very excited for you. I'm not really a Outer Wilds kind of guy, but I'm. You hate me for that, but.
Did y'all see this? Just to throw something else out there.
Yeah, no worries.
Today actually on Gamecast on Kind of Funny, Grub was on there, and we were all talking, and they're talking about a Dragon Age Origins remake possibly being shown.
Okay.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, not just Dreadwolf, right, but an actual Origin remake, which that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, that would because
it would make sense too.
Origins is one of my favorite games from the 360 and PS3 era. I played it on 360 via a recommendation from my brother. He gave me the game and a strategy guide with it. So, yeah, that game, very, very good. So I'd love to see something happen with Dragon Age Origins.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Let's hope it happens. I got one more.
Yeah, go. Love it.
Okay, so this is going to be another pie in the sky. Okay, a dream thing for me. Okay, all right, and there's a reason why I'm saying this game. I'm not just pulling it out of thin air.
No worries.
So years ago, y'all remember the NVIDIA leaks, right?
Yeah.
Every game from the NVIDIA leaks ended up turning out to be true. They even had like games like Ogre Tactics ended up being a remake, ended up being real, right? Just really random stuff. One game that was on there that we have not seen yet, one that they would take their time with to make sure they get it right. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Ooh, nice. So that's the only game that's not come out that's off that list, is it?
It has not come out yet off the list. There's probably some other random ones on there, but that's a big one. That stood out on that list, and it was there on the list. And we saw they did Ogre Tactics remake. They did a bunch of other stuff, right? But Final Fantasy Tactics to many of us that are tactics games fans or Final JRPG fans is like the master class, right? It's like the tactics game. It's set the standard, right? So that's one that I've been waiting for, and maybe just hypothetically we finally get a reveal. I don't know where it would be revealed, if it's revealed anywhere, but
yeah,
it would be cool because with the new relationship that Xbox and Square are pushing, if they actually manage to get that to show up at the Xbox show, that would be insane. But anywhere that it shows up, I will be over the moon. And that's one I hope they do justice when they show it. And that one and Splinter Cell, like,
yeah.
If we get those two games, nothing else matters. Period.
Not even Silksong.
No, screw Silksong. I'm sick of waiting for it. No.
Outrageous.
Again, they'll take their time. 8 more years, we may never see the game. Who cares?
Love it. That's good stuff. Yes, that's I like it. I like the extra little sneaky one there. Very good. Anyone else got any last little gems there that they want to throw in there? Did you have any more, Luke, that you were finishing off with? Or because I know I intercepted your little flow there with my little tease of the day.
No, I think those were mine.
That's good.
Of those.
Fantastic.
But mainly Mobius.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be pretty sweet. I think you're really keen to see obviously more from Playdead as well. I think that's going to be those.
Yeah.
I think for you, I know you've said that already, but it's I'm so with you.
I take both of those over Silksong.
Outrageous.
Like,
that's it.
Delete him. I really was.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've all got our own taste. I know it's because I slagged off Outward a second ago. You need to feel the need to get me back. Well,
yep.
It's all good. But I mean, we've got so many great Metroidvanias on the way as well. So things like Crow Sworn, it'd be cool to get something on that. But there's just an infinite number of great. I mean, that's the thing. We've already got them. Like, obviously, we've had 9 Souls just come out the other day. Bowpath of the Till Lotus has already got a release date of July. So this is the thing, even though Showcase season is amazing, and I think Showcase season is going to be good for getting those new announcements out there, and I think it's going to be often, like we've all talked about, going to be the stuff we didn't expect coming out of the blue, which is great. And then it's going to fill our wish list even more, and it's going to set us up for the months to come, the years to come as well, in some circumstances. So so much to look forward to, and of course we will be diving into reactions of all of it. Just to recap again, on tomorrow we will be doing the Guerrilla Collective live reaction. Friday we'll be doing Summer Game Fest with the Day of the Dev straight after. And Saturday, Future Games Show live reaction as well. And then Sunday, we're going to be doing the main event for some. Obviously, I love all of it personally because it's got a great mix all across it. But the Xbox Showcase, I'm certainly exceptionally excited for, because you get some great ones off of that. You usually get some nice little unexpected gems on the old indie side of things. And I think this Showcase season, I wouldn't be surprised if the indie games shine through extremely strong once again. And dare I say, prop up the industry once more. There we go, I've said it. But yeah, no, indies are definitely shining massively lately, so it's great to see them doing so well, and lots of love for them, and good. It's good to see, like I say. So, but yeah, thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. There's a great turnout, so it's really good to see, because it's been, we've had a little break from the podcast, so it means a lot to see so many people in. And you always wonder whether you're going to press live after a little bit of a break and it'll just be like, crickets, basically. So it's lovely to have so many of you guys hanging out with us today. Thank you very much. We've got Stubbsy Baby back in the house. We've got Paul, the fantastic guy supporting us all the time. Great to see you in again, my friend. Thank you for being here. Cybernox just coming through at the end. Oh my God, I just realized. What a legend. Great to see you. It's been a while, my man. Yes, so great. Thank you very much for coming by, Cybernox. And he's saying, I hope we see more of Replaced during one of these shows. I think that's a really good bet. I think there's a good chance of that showing up. Probably at the Xbox Showcase, I would say. But yeah, that's a great shout. And Paul's saying Banjo 3E. That's a little cheeky little shout. They're not bad. So many people want Banjo. I think it's just one of those things with Xbox. They've been wanting Banjo for years, haven't they? Is it going to happen? It's the question. Richard, thank you very much for being here as well. We had Dragon Supra 10. Thank you very much for coming by. Great to see you in. UK Dazarus, Lady Foxfire, lovely to see you guys. Thank you very much for being here. Ray Oid in the house too. Ruby as well. Happy birthday once more. Thank you for being here. Pong Soul came by. Thank you very much for coming by, my man. Anyone I've missed, I apologize, but thank you all so much for coming by. It's been amazing. Let's just do our sign-offs, and we'll get you on with the rest of your evening or rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. But yeah, let's say firstly, thank you so much to my good man Mav today. Always brings the fire, always brings the hot takes, and also the passion, as I say, and some great fun speculation. So thanks for being here, brother. You shout out where they can find you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, man. Sorry about the internet stuff. I don't know what's going on. I got to make sure it's fixed before this weekend, because that would suck. But yeah, we'll be having, like you, we're going to be doing a lot of co-streams and stuff. We're starting on Friday with that, but Thursday night you can check out our regular show, PM in the PM, with Pong Soul and I. We'll be going live around 7 p.m. Eastern time, kind of getting ready for what will be us for Showcase Eve. Cool. In a way. And then Friday we're going to be doing the Summer Game Fest and the other shows that are happening after that with the co-streams. Nice. Sunday is for us the big day for sure. We're going to have a blast covering the Xbox show. If you want to see hype and excitement, come hang out and watch us do the co-stream there, or you can hang out here with Indie Gamer as they look forward to waiting on pins and needles just to see if Silksong shows up. Be amazing.
Well, yeah, it's not just that one we look for, but yeah, it's okay. Everything else is blank to us. All the other games are just blank.
Hey, there's the place, but
not only are we waiting.
Yeah, exactly. Love it, I love it.
And then we'll be doing Ubisoft Forward on Monday, and our regular podcast that night also is a Fun Speculation podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, and then Friday night also Xbox Ultimate podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, man. It's Definitely. Gonna be busy. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. There's gonna be slight disappointments probably on some of the things, but overall, it's all about the culmination of just tons of amazing things all happening in gaming all at once, and I'm really looking forward to it. So come hang out, and it was an awesome show, Indy. Great hanging out with you guys, Luke. You guys are in Mad Belmont. You guys are absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's good to see you live again, Indy.
Oh, I appreciate that, brother. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to be live, actually, because, like I said, I do love doing video stuff and the editing and creative process of that. But it is so lovely to be live as well and just hang out with the community, especially when it's such a great bunch of people coming out for it today and supporting. So thank you, guys. And thank you very much, Mav. Yeah, you do amazing stuff on your channel, bro, and you've been growing so well, and you really deserve that. You really do. It's like, definitely check out Mav if you haven't already, guys. All the links are in the description below to everyone, by the way, from the show today. You know, if you love live stuff where it's just passionate content, great discussion, definitely check him out. You'll love it. But yeah, thanks again, matey. And yeah, Belmont, my friend, the Mad Belmont is back on the show for the third time. I get it right this time. But yeah, it's been amazing hanging out with you. You've always got that such great passion. Again, you two, that's why I chose you today, really, because I wanted the speculation town, I wanted the fun predictions. So you two as guests was absolutely ideal. So yeah, you're awesome today. So thank you very much for being part of it. Would you like to shout out where they can find you, my friend?
Yes, you can find me at my channel, The Mad Belmont. I do Castlevania, Metroidvanias. I do horror. I'm actually starting a summer series on my channel, which is the Summer of Silent Hill. I'm going to be talking about Silent Hill all summer long. And you can also find me on the Super Retro Force. That's my team that I'm a part of. We're a bunch of dudes coming together and making retro gaming content. You can find me over there. And if you want to keep up with me on social media, I do have an Instagram and a Twitter at the Mad Belmont on both.
Very nice. Fantastic, buddy. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely check him out. Yeah, for all of those reasons that you just mentioned there. A great, passionate guy. And massive congratulations, my friend, for hitting the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You well deserve that. So, yeah, congrats on that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. I still can't believe it, honestly. And it's been almost a month since it happened. So.
Yes, yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit behind schedule and I have a little bit of a break. So yeah, thought I'd mention that now though. But yeah, it's great to see though, because like I say, your content is awesome and well deserved. So keep up the great work on the channel. I'm sure you'll continue to grow even more. Amazing. So yeah, finally, definitely last but not least, my good man Luke Steele, who it's always a pleasure to do this sort of show with, always bring in awesome, intelligent takes. Intelligent, eh? But no, he's always like such a knowledge of gaming. He loves it when I just give him compliments and stuff. But no, it's all genuine. I love being able to do this show with you, Luke. You're a great guy. So thank you very much for being part of it. Would you like to shout out where they can find you, buddy?
Yeah, thanks very much. Pleasure as always. You can find me here, obviously. I will be on shows this week. And on Twitter/X, it's at LukeSteele90.
Amazing. Fantastic, bro. Yeah, definitely check him out, guys, for sure. Well, this has been an awesome time, guys. Thank you very much, everyone who's been here checking it out. If you're checking it out after on the replay, feel free to drop a comment in the description below so I know you've checked it out. It'll be awesome to chat with you down there. But thanks, everyone who was here live. And yeah, really looking forward to the days ahead. Like I say, every day up to Sunday, we're doing content. I've scheduled every day up to Saturday. I just need to do the Xbox one on there, so feel free to check out the scheduled streams somewhere on the channel when you click the homepage of the channel, and you can always check a little reminder on there and it will let you know when we go live. But yeah, join us for more awesome gaming sort of showcase week action, basically, guys. We're going to be checking it all out, so it'd be amazing to have you back here on the channel. But yeah, thank you very much. Let's not outstay my welcome. And let's sign off, and thank you again for everyone for joining us. Catch you out there again, guys, and enjoy your game showcase week.